Let's hit it, baby. The man, Philly boy, we're back. 2025, Jets 55. Been a while. A lot of mourning. A lot of mourning. Had to get through it. Nothing we ever imagined. Quickly, listen, it went south. It went south fast. That 10-9 Denver thing kind of was writing on the wall. I'm gonna get rid of the garbage, Philly boy. Let's get rid of the garbage. I'm not here to bash. I'm not gonna bash Rodgers. It didn't work out. First and foremost, we've been saying it a lot on Jets 55. I thought Joe Douglas was a good, really good GM. I liked him. I liked a lot of his drafts. I liked the free agents. He made the biggest mistake in the world, and that's quarterback. And he held on to Zach Wilson way too long. And that took 1,000 things. I've said it many times. Took 1,000 things he did right, and that one thing he did wrong destroyed it. Though I will say, at the beginning of last season, sticking with Zerline when he had that other kicker who wound up being a great kicker. We lost 3 games because of our kicker right early in the season. So, what, 6, 7 weeks in? Could have changed the whole dynamic. So really, we say Douglas made 2 huge mistakes. But let's talk about when it started. I didn't agree with you, Philly boy, but you're right. I didn't think it was going to Egypt those 2 days. That was not good. Rodgers bailed, and that's the most negative thing I'm going to say about Rodgers. You don't, you're off how many months in a year, and you chose when you really needed to be there. He was there a while. He came to the OTAs, but those 2 days were a sour taste. And to me, that was the most disrespectful thing I ever seen in sports. When Salah was getting give him like a hug or whatever, and they like literally pushed him away, and he gave bullshit after the game to post. He gave bullshit. But listen, this is to me what happened. It didn't work out with Rodgers. He's gone. Okay. We know we're all not Woody Johnson fan. We all really kind of loathe the guy. But I think we said it before in our last one. Clock is right. Broken clock is right twice a day. And going forward, getting rid of the garbage, getting that aside. Did I drink the Kool-Aid? I drink it every year, and I drank the Kool-Aid.
Well, yeah.
I'm in Aaron Glenn. He just not only, yeah, he's a Parcells disciple, but it reminds me so much of Parcells. Do they look alike physically? No. His mannerism, the way he talks, the way he leads. I'm just digging the guy. The GM, I think he had it. I'm going to say a good draft, not great, not okay. I'll say good. They didn't want the limelight bullshit. He didn't really do a lot of stuff that Douglas would used to do, moving around, which I used to like. They got players they like. And listen, now we're reading about Fields. He's doing terrible. He's doing terrible. I don't care. Positive. All right. So that's me. We're past that era. I like Salah and Douglas. They're gone. We got to stay with it. Glenn, big fan. Like the GM. Don't know enough about that guy and what he's doing, but we'll see how the draft works out. They said he got a couple of steals. I'm babbling ahead, but I'm excited. I'm sorry. And
Hey, it's been a while. We haven't done this in a long
right.
time.
And
Yeah.
we're back like a bad penny, folks. Here's the best part. 2 words. No expectations. No expectations. That's 4 words because I said it twice. Man, that's it, man. I got it all out. I just wanted to get it out there and start this new era. Even though we just not only you just want to say whatever, but here we are. I'm excited. I have to be ground and pound. What do you think? Your
Well,
turn.
I love everything you said. And the first thing I want to say is, it's called Jets 55, and we love the fact that it's a beautiful logo, but now it's 59. This is the beginning. I just did the math before, right? 1967, year one. This season, 2025, is the 59th season that we're rooting for these guys. So next year, I don't know if we're still alive, we're gonna have to change it maybe to Jet 60. No, but no, we're not gonna change anything. But you're right, 100% about the past. It's just, for me, it's not back to the future, it's just back, back, back. Because every time we get to this moment, we have a new group of people, we have hope, we have the belief system that it's going to work. I mean, we thought with Mangini it was going to be, hey, he's from Belichick. It's like we always have this,
It was going to be with Herman Edwards.
yeah, we drink the Kool-Aid, like you said, but it's only because we love the team. But it's a shame because, again, we've said it before. This guy, even though he owns the team, he's renting it. He's not. He's no more of a fan than any of us. I don't care that he owns the team. What I don't like is his son, probably after this guy dies or is done, is going to take over, and he's even worse. I think he's a nut job, right? The king. But we have to hope that now, after such a horrible showing, last year, F grades all around, and that the upgrades that Woody made, with the locker room, with the whole hands-off approach so far, that he'll stick with it. Because if he sticks with it, and we'll get to really see what these guys are capable of, I think we're going to have a year where it's not like we're going to be, oh my God, we're like divisional round. But if we're in contention beyond the first half of the season, I don't think that's unbelievable to think could happen. I don't want to go nuts and say, yeah, they're going to win this, they're going to go through the numbers. We'll do that on another date. But there's too many variables. We don't know yet what this year is going to look like. And the way I feel is every era, it's like a rented amount of time, you know, and it's lost time. And I just felt with Salah and Joe that, man, he was leaving them alone. He was in New England. We were on the right track. It was going to happen for once and for all. And you're right. What did he do? Got the wrong guy. Got the wrong quarterback. Couldn't figure that out. And maybe if they got Fields then even, it might have been there. There's so many other ifs, couldas, whatever.
Um,
But
but listen, too long. That's why you look at like a 49er team, San Francisco, decades, being really good teams, being competitive, winning Super Bowls, haven't won one recently, but still they're always there. And Trey Lance, and right away, oh, we made a mistake. I know it's easier said than done. We made a mistake. Kid's gone. Not to be
get
mean.
rid of him, right? But I
I
mean,
mean, and I'm asking, listen, did they get
to
lucky with
fire
Purdy?
them, to fire Salah the way he did, and then Joe the way he did that, the guy just completely sabotaged the season, the era, and honestly, the excitement in the fan base. Because it really knocked me down a little bit. And it's hard to make me and you feel less loyal or into it. Man, last year was really bad. And the way this guy did it, he proved he knows absolutely nothing. He still knows nothing about business, about leadership, about running a team. And it's unbelievable that he thinks he does. That's the problem. So we could go on and on and talk about Woody. I know it's a waste of time. We could go on and on and talk about Aaron Rodgers. You did a great job. You're right. You can't really bash him. He's gone. And he's doing it right now. Right? He's with the Steelers. You don't hear a peep at him. Because with the Jets, they needed to make a big spectacle out of everything. They never win anything, and they always make a big deal out of it like they did. That's what our teams do. The Mets do, for that matter. So for me, now quiet is golden. Aaron Glenn doesn't want anyone to talk about them. He does his business. He's all about accountability. 100% Bill Russell. You're right. Doesn't like penalties, right? So what do you hear down to the high school level when, guys have penalties? Everybody push-ups. Everybody run it. Everybody's in. It's the most basic childish thing, but it works because everybody learns togetherness. And I don't think they had that at all. Aaron Rodgers, like you said, he went to Egypt. Yeah, he was special. And he, number 8, did you see what he's got? It was all about him. Thankfully, Sauce is still there, and and Garrett are
Well,
gone.
we're focusing on the positive, and that's one thing also, and it was Douglas and it was other GMs. It always seemed like it was the painstaking thing, keeping one of your own. And that, to me, not only holding on to Wilson and Sauce, that they did it so fast.
Yeah. And
Saying that it just wasn't this day after day, week after week. What's going to happen? Blah blah.
yeah, so
And they did it. They didn't destroy the cap, so I got to
no,
give our GM kudos for that. Still, we got to figure out who this guy is. But again, just moving forward, I like what I see. And like I said, Woody is horrible, but he might have luckily gotten someone who could you dream about it for the long haul. Like you said, Mangini, oh man, it's going to be a 20-year coach. These guys come in. Herm Edwards is going to be a long time coach. Rex was going to be a long time coach. And then, of course, you had Salah. I would have, first season, just listening to him, I would have bet the house that he was going to be a long term coach.
Super Bowl winner. Yeah.
Never
He is a
worked
Super
out.
Bowl
So,
winner. Now
so
he's a
did,
coordinator. Well, the only
did him
reason he's a
also.
coordinator is because they sabotaged him from day one.
Well,
Again,
listen, the most
he's
oblivious
in the
owner on
past, like
earth.
he's another guy on the another piece of wood on the fire. It's the way it goes without Jetland. But
But the whole thing, can the most oblivious owner in the world might have gotten it right, and now he's done it before. I will tell it. He's leaving them alone. He's letting them doing what they're doing, which is the right way to do it. And what is it going to be? Like no expectations. Like I said, they're talking about ground and pound. We're all thinking the same thing. Everybody out there in Jets land, where we already drank the Kool-Aid that Hall's going to have a great Brees is going to have this mega season. He was going to have a mega season last year though with Rodgers, but then such a passing team.
Braylon looks good too. I think he's gonna
Yeah,
make an
and
impact.
and then you see the third guy, Davis. He's out there when the other one got hurt. The Wisconsin kid got hurt for a little bit. He's had a couple of games, and then Davis comes in and he's wowing everybody. So you got a three-headed running back room, which is going to be mostly, I would imagine, Brees.
And I
Um,
saw Glenn tell him these are the kind of things we're going to do with you. It's like he's like that. You sent me that video. He's telling him that he's not just going to be out of the a straight running back. They want to utilize him. I've heard that before, but they never had the quarterback to make that happen. So hopefully with this guy Fields, they don't require him to be what an Aaron Rodgers kind of guy would have done. So maybe he can move around in space and find the guy open now a little bit more, like Rodgers used to do. That's what I hope. But again, getting back to the past one more time, look, it was a bad ending to such a promising era that we're used to it. Doesn't really shock us. It's just at our age, I'm just tired of it. It's too many times. That's what it is to me. And I'm just saying this time now with these guys, the first move, look, Joe Douglas picking Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner wasn't a reach. These guys are going to be great.
Jermaine Johnson. He made a lot
Yeah.
of, listen,
But
Will.
these two guys, especially rookies of the year, both sides of the ball, that was a good move. Now, I don't discount that, but it wasn't exactly so creative. It's like these guys you needed to pick if you could get them. Anybody would have picked Garrett Wilson. So now that this guy comes in and they lock him up for a while, and he's got his college quarterback and he's got some other things going on, I think they're going in the right direction. But again, getting back to Aaron Glenn, you know, he doesn't like penalties. He pushes the whole team.
But he's
And
got the referee.
it's
He's got the
standard
referee.
typical stuff. It's basic stuff that, listen, you got grandkids, little guys, you teach them, you baseline it, muscle memory. This is the way it's going to be. This is what you have to do. That's what he's doing with this team already. You don't
Well, you
like
know,
it? Go,
yeah. You know what I like that he's doing? It's like you get a penalty. It's not Sally used to do push-ups and all that. You get a penalty, you go to the sidelines. So shit, I can't get a penalty. I'm gonna lose plays. I'm gonna lose time. I'm gonna lose showing these coaches what I can do. And that's the most important thing.
yeah.
So you see,
I didn't like hearing Joe Tipman's not getting it done because I expected him to be the center for a long time, but he's
he was
getting
one of the
challenged
best.
now.
He was rated one of the best centers last year. I don't listen to any Jet fans out there. I'm done with the negative. Even articles by Jet beat writers and all that. Anything I see something negative, I don't even read it. Had
Doesn't
enough,
matter.
man. So I'm just, Taylor got a high ankle sprain. Listen, what are you gonna do? I'm not gonna read about every article how horrible. I love the articles. It's the worst timing. When is there ever an effing good timing for this shit? It's the worst timing. When is it good?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
And it
I
doesn't
think
change it doesn't
I
change a
think
thing.
I,
Doesn't
I
change
think
it.
that right. I think one day before the first game of the season, and he has a high ankle sprain. I think that's the worst time. It's always the worst time.
Yeah.
I'm just done with it. I'm done with anything I see about, listen, Aaron, good luck to you, man. Rogers, good luck to you, man. It's all good. Whatever. I don't want him to do good week one. I don't really see him getting it done, but who the hell knows? But the thing is that there's been like a waste of time. What happened is really Douglas and Salah and the scouts put together 5 years ago a very talented team. They got more talent, more talent, more talent, and it all went to waste. Of course, they held on and I've said it a million times, so we got to get past it. And really, it all imploded the fourth play of two
Phillies,
years
yeah.
ago. That's when it really all imploded. But enough is enough. like I said,
I
this is
think you're right. We would have learned a year earlier if it was a real deal. And if it was good, we would have had a second year to build on it. If it was bad, it wouldn't have been all this extra time of committing to a guy that's a question mark. You would have known, hey, this was a bad experiment. And it's not like Salah's fault or anybody's fault. It's like, all right, get him out. But he came in with intentions of winning, Rodgers. I don't like him for whatever. He's always a pain in the ass. He's got something to say, whatever. But he wanted to win. I give him that. He wants to get it done.
you
And
keep
now
going
he's
back.
somewhere else. He's not bashing the Jets, I don't think, right? From what I hear now.
I just, you know,
Huh?
he bashed that he was mad that I guess he flew in thinking we're gonna have
No,
a
I mean now in camp.
conversation.
He's not
I don't
saying
know.
anything about the past
I don't
anymore.
know what he's saying. But again, I know we keep going back because it's hard not to go back. But really, and what I'm saying, holding on to Zach Wilson too long, maybe the worst mistake Douglas made when we had year one with Rodgers, and they were saying Zach Wilson is a project now. We realize he's a project. Maybe down the road this kid could be capable, and him being a backup, knowing if Rodgers went down, was a huge, huge mistake. Not that you're going to predict in the fourth play of the season, you know,
Yeah.
but they didn't have anybody more serviceable or reliable. I know it might sound ridiculous, even like a Flacco type that have done it and have
Yeah, they
experience.
even had Flacco there, but their
But
line stunk. They
but
couldn't.
to leave, and that's Rodgers' effect too, though. I love Zach. He's under my wing.
As my little brother, come
And
on,
even I imagine even the coaches drink the Kool-Aid, right? You're listening to a Super Bowl winning guy, who should have maybe had a couple of more. But listen, we are where we are, and it's going to come down to this. There is a ton of talent on this team. Two things. I'm going to give you my prediction. Lazard has a better season than anybody's going to think. And not a prediction, but I'm more excited about the offensive coordinator we have now. I really think we're going to see things we haven't seen maybe ever for the Jets with an offensive coordinator. So I'm really excited about that. But what does it all come down to?
what makes that? What makes you say that? I wanted to ask you that. What do you like
Well,
about
if
the
if
guy?
you look at the blueprint in Detroit, what he's done, the creativity, the two back offense, the play action, rolling out, different things for different players, reverses and everything. I'm not saying flea flick is just getting the speedster out there in space, just all the different things we never see.
Right.
How frustrated it's been decades, and for you folks out there, the young folk, we've been following the Jets, Phil and I, for 7 decades. It's actually been 7 decades. And how many times do we see first down, 2 yard run, second down and 8, and they run it again? Oh, we're going to trick them. We're going to run it again. It's like we can almost call the plays. Listen, we've been fans long enough. When they got Becton, left tackle, and injuries. What were you and I saying? And I'm not saying I'm an expert. I'm not saying, but we were saying it like friggin' 3 years ago.
He's a
Put him
guard.
at guard. Put him at guard. He's too big.
Won a
His
Super Bowl.
No, I'm saying, but left tackle, he can't. The knees, the ankles. We can see he just didn't have the calves, the knees, and the ankles to go against these powerful guys. The left tackle, where there's a lot more movement.
You got to be
Put him,
quick. If you're on the
put him at
inside,
guard.
boom. Yeah.
Put him at guard. Put him at guard. The Jets get rid of him. What do the Eagles do? They put him at guard. So now he's playing guard. So and he did well for them. He did a good job. And he's a huge man. Probably didn't have to move a lot to play guard. Just had to push forward. But these are the things. But we've seven decades of this, and I'm very excited about that offensive coordinator. I think we're going to see a lot of creative things. But what I want in the first game, all Jet teams that we follow, oh, those slow starts in the first quarter. Oh, the slow start. Oh, the slow start. Oh, they got to get used to it. Can we ever in our lives come out guns a blazing, first drive, go effing crazy, let's get going? Never happens. One of my friends was talking about a game we were at. He remember we screaming like a madman. It was the Mark Sanchez era. They had a bye week. After the bye week, we go to the game. The first play of the game, they got called for delay of game. First
I
play of the
remember
game.
that. I
I
do.
scream. You had 2 weeks, and in that game, it was a porous Kansas City team. They started out slow. We wound up beating them, but can I see this first game against Pittsburgh? Can we come out, bam, hit them right? writing them out. I want to see that. And I think that's why I think we're going to see that. That's a prediction. My two predictions. We're going to see with this offensive coordinator, they're going to come out guns a blazing. And then I predict Lazard is going to have a good season for the Jets.
I like
I
the O
have
line. I really think their O
both of them.
line is going to be great, and I think that you know Taylor. I mean, the genes alone, that guy should be a really big playmaker for them, and I bet you'll be a hell of a blocker. So he'll open up stuff downfield, and they'll have some chunk plays that they never have. And I think Wilson and the other guy also played with them in Ohio State. I don't know his name. I forgot. The hell's the other receiver that they got was
Well,
also there.
Ruckett was from Ohio State. Ruckett, the
No, no,
tight.
no, a new receiver, a young guy who was also there when he was done, when he was finishing up. I don't know. I thought I read something that they got another guy too that they understand the offense is my whole point. Like to your point, it's all systems and understanding what to do in those moments that separates people, teams. And if you like the system that they have on offense, hey, when Aaron Glenn was with the Jets, their offense was, you know, look, there was a time they had Freeman McNeil. He was a really good running back. That Kerr Smart, a Hall of Fame running back. But other than that, there's a lot of valleys in the running back situation. So right now, if you think you have something that's that level, now's the time to make it work. And if you improve the O line, you have a better quarterback. You're right. You can't come out and fall on your face and
Well, what is
fumble and
what is it?
a 30-yard run and he fumbles it. Can't do that shit.
The NFL today, what does it come down to? The offensive line could be great. The running backs could be great. All three of them. Brees could be having unbelievable this, that, and the other thing. If Fields doesn't pass the ball with at least 60%, 63, 64%, if he doesn't complete passes, if he's not remotely accurate, it all goes to shit. That's the bottom line. It's all. That's why like I said, 1,000 things. Saller and Douglas did right, and they did one thing wrong, and they got a just terrible quarterback. So here's the thing: there's a ton of talent. I'm pumped about the offensive line. I'm pumped about the running backs. I think Josh Reynolds. You hope can bring something to the table. Taylor, the tight end, can really be. They haven't had that really good tight end for a long time. Could be huge, but it all comes down to just comes down to Fields, man.
And
Everybody's like,
also, and also, like you said, the play caller. I think that's right. If they get creative, look, you got a guy who can move. He's another running back. If nothing's open, don't just make a shitty throw. Pick up the yardage. Keep live another down. Pick up a first down. Go. But one thing we haven't spoken about was the defense. And let's face it, the only time I heard Aaron Glenn with a twinge of like in your face a little was about McDonald because he said he wasn't coached right. It's like you think he can, he's only he's not a guy that can power rush. He says, well, because he wasn't coached to. So there you go. So what does that tell us? That's like, hey, we came in our hats, like those days, we came in our hats on, right? Henderson, Donnie Henderson, remember that guy? Was named Donnie Henderson? I remember. The point is, you're coming across now saying that what you're going to get out of these guys is the most that you can get out of them, and they're not just going to be, specialty guys. I like that. I think that's a great strategy because if you could turn these guys into more than just specialty in and out, in and out, and I don't need 9 defensive linemen to come in and out. I want 5 or 6 guys that can play and are there and stop the run too and get to the quarterback too. I mean,
well, you
that's
love
what you
that.
want.
Will McDonald, and again, another Douglas pick, and people were critical of it. It's wound up being right now a good pick, and it could be turn out to be a great pick. The guy comes in at 230. He's 250 now. He's bulked and he's still incredibly fast. He's added power. You look at Sherwood, become a huge Sherwood fan. He's the quarterback of the defense, the kid. He had that horrific injury. He fought through it. He came in. Do you remember when he came in? Safety at 216. They want him at linebacker. It took time. Now that kid's like 230
And he
something.
learned from Mosley. He learned from a good teacher. So
Listen,
that went well.
Yeah,
But
and if anybody, listen, for you Jets fans out there, look at some of the articles about Sherwood, our linebacker. You're gonna like some of the articles. Catch those articles about him. Student of the game, can't get enough, and let's see. So that defense could be really, really good. And you get Jermaine Johnson. I mean, he comes back. I mean, and I love what Glenn said about that. Oh, is he going to be back for the first game? Whatever game it is, man. First, second, third. We're thinking long haul with this kid. We're thinking a long season with him, and we're thinking a long career for him. So we're
we're
not
going to
like,
learn a lot this weekend. We're going to see this weekend the first time as a unit, as a group, what they look like. Listen, he did a hell of a job with the Lions. He did, especially with guys hurt. So I think he's going to be fine. And I also think, as a head coach, having been around a guy like Parcells, defensive minded guy, as a head coach, that's the perfect role model, you know? So I do think it's all going to help. Um, I don't want growing pains. I don't have time for that. I don't think he does either because he knows more than anything else what we feel as fans. He knows. He's been. You think? Hey, look, this guy was drafted by the Jets, played with them. Yeah, he moved on. Then when it's time for his career, they hire him as to begin his, as a scout, whatever. So
right.
back to the Jets again. And now as a head coach, back to the Jets again. Don't you think over the years he's paid attention to the Jets and he knows that every year the struggle and the pain, he knows, he feels it just like us. I loved Salah, but they don't know what it's like. I loved, Hearn, man, all these guys were good. Rex, a little bit new because of his father, but he was with success with the Ravens, and the guy had, a taste of some good stuff. But this guy played for the team. I think if you have to have a guy now more than ever that you can put your faith and trust in, it's him. And I just
Well,
see
listen,
there's
this
hope.
guy, it's a great story because this is his third go around, player, scout, and now head coach. And like I said, you see him walking around, his mannerism, it's hilarious to me because I used to go to the Parcell practices. Um, for those who don't even, maybe really young Jets fans, look up Bill Parcells, the head coach of the Jets. I remember going with my son, and he's I don't know how. Oh my God, he had to be like 9 years old.
Projectile vomit he would talk about.
But I love, and he's like that. He goes, Dad, where's well, I can't see Bill Parcells in the sidelines. And I said, look for the angriest guy in the sidelines. And it was like 10 minutes into the practice, he was on fire. His arms were folded across his chest. And I see Aaron Glenn walking around. It's like so funny like that mannerisms, the thought process. It's that excites me. And I, again, drank the Kool-Aid with that. But
Like,
you
just win a few games, it changes everything.
can't deny that they don't have, and everybody's been saying the last 3, 4, 5 years, there's been a lot of talent on that team. But you know what? This is the most important position, quarterback. You can't even see my hand. That's the rest of them. I know, what I'm saying that's how far in this quarterback league. Can you imagine a Dan Marino playing when you could just throw the ball away? You know what I'm
Throw
saying?
7,000 yards a year.
He would easily for 6,000. If he played 20 years, he would have threw for 100,000 yards. A guy like you, let's look at him. The guy, look how great Dan Fouts was. A guy like Dan Fouts, look like a Joe Montana, 4 Super Bowls. Imagine if he was playing in this era, where you can just, it's all about the QB, man. Now there's a certain way you got to hit him. You can't even just tackle him. You
Right.
know, Broadway Joe, playing full quarterback in this era. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But this is where
But
we
you know
are.
what they have, though, Vin, that they didn't have until now? That right tackle
Hmm.
that, they have guys now on the line that if you coach them up right, I think it's the best old line they've had in a long time.
Could be.
So good quarterback is super important. Good line makes everybody else better and helps a good quarterback become great. You're never going to make a shit quarterback good, you know, but you
Right.
can make a good quarterback great with the guys around you, you know? So
But
that's
the
Zach Wilson.
line,
He was a shit quarterback. He was never going to be good.
he
But
has to at least be good. Um, let's talk about a few other things. I mean, the punter. I don't know, don't know him. They said he has a powerful leg, records in college, first team, blah blah blah. Hope he does well. And Nick Folk, man, I'm kind of excited when you look at his stats the last 2 years. The guy
He's
was
in action.
the best kicker in the league, man. Just so what happens when it comes to us? Is that going to not happen? Who the hell knows? So I love the
We come across like there's so low expectations, right?
guy.
No one expects a thing with this team. But you know who does? Aaron Glenn. I don't think these guys are going to be, you know, accepting going 0 and 4, 1 and 5. I think if stuff like that starts to happen, you're going to hear some wild stuff going on. I don't think he wants to accept like a 500 team, a team that's maybe a couple games under 500 as you go through it. That's not a great team, but it's not a complete garbage team. And I don't think that he would put his name to something that is going to be that poor. I really don't feel that they would. I don't. Maybe I'm crazy, but I have a feeling that it's a fresh start. It's the right attitude. Expectations are low, but in that room, I think they're going to be. We've said it before. They want to win the Super Bowl, the Jets, but I think now they have a lot to play for because
I
they
think it's
they're a joke. Yeah,
listen, again, whatever, 15 years, I don't give a damn. Bringing that up when you hear about negative things, I was just want to say, Hall of Famer Jared Allen, Minnesota Vikings, uh, the week, I guess the whole Hall of Fame week, he decides to talk about the Jets. Shut up.
idiot.
But
Yeah,
I was thinking, well, I guess he can. Who wants to coach the Jets? Who would? Why would you want on and on and on? And I'm thinking, well, I guess Jared Allen can talk us of all the Super Bowl. I'm trying to count how many Super Bowl he rings he got with the Vikings, and I'm trying to look at the Vikings history. How many Super Bowls have they won? And I'm trying to come up with the number. And Phil, I just can't. Is it 4 or 5 Super Bowl victories for the Minnesota Vikings?
yeah.
How many
Four or
am I?
five losses. 0 and 5.
Wait. They
Yeah,
never won? They never won a Super Bowl, the Vikings? Jared Allen never doesn't have a Super Bowl ring? Oh my goodness. Well, I guess we're going to listen to him. And again, just getting past, it's something I shouldn't have read. I thought maybe the guy was going to say something, positive, being a football guy and knowing how tough it is. But no, just had to be the usual stuff. And it's easy to say the things about the Jets when it's just easy to say words come out of your mouth to criticize them. But yeah, I just was thinking about, I guess you could say with all those Super Bowl rings until I realized he has zero. The franchise has zero.
I don't even think they went to one with him. Never.
Oh no. And
They're going back to Bud Grant here. That's it.
my favorite is Sam Donald. Oh, look, Sam Donald in the last game of the season, in the first playoff game, he played like the Sam Donald that we know and love.
I feel bad for Seattle, man. I think he's going to suck.
He was going from making 50 million a year after 16 games. He was going to go on a $50 million a year contract. Game 17 of the season, and then the first playoff game, and that looked very familiar. So I'm glad the non-winning ever in a whole franchise history, non-Super Bowl winning franchise that got to enjoy the wonders of Sam Donald. Enjoy that. Still waiting for that ring there, buddy. Still waiting for that ring for the franchise.
Now
So,
he's in Seattle this year, right?
I know he's in Seattle, which, yeah, God bless him.
I think
You know,
he's going to suck. I don't see how he's going to make it. They don't even have that guy, um, uh, the big guy that's now on the Steelers, the receiver.
Metcalf.
Yeah, Metcalf. So who's he gonna, I don't I think they're gonna struggle. But Steelers, look out, I don't know if Rodgers is good. That's what we're gonna see. But maybe they'll blast him, the Jets.
We're all dreading. I just want to see one. It's never going to happen, but I just want to see one flying Will McDonald shoulder pad hitting one of his spindly legs. But obviously,
Crush
you're
him.
probably not going to see that. We know what possibly we can see, but we're it's the doom and gloom being, 7. Come on, you got to give us, you got to understand this, folks watching us, 7 decades, so 7 decades. So you got to give us a little bit of understanding on that.
Ridiculous.
And
It's
but I
really
will tell you this,
ridiculous.
I will be in hopefully if everything works out, I'm scheduled to be in London October 12th to watch that Jet Denver game.
Oh, well.
So Ro and I are we're going to London for about a week, so I will be at that game, and I hope by the time we get to October 12th, there's some kind of positive
They'll
stuff
be.
going on.
I don't see them. I don't really see I don't smell the failure yet. I don't. And the expectation is zero. The excitement is zero. And the failure expectation is zero for me right now. I'm
Okay.
just like, let's see what you got, guys, and it's like a brand new era. Uh, they have talent, you're right. It's not like they got nothing. Let's see what these coaches can do and what kind of heart they have and just win a few games. Early in the year, you win 2 games, goes a long way. If you go 3-1 somehow, goes a long way because you can really then hit the skids a couple times and you're still okay. But if you're 1-3, mm, you know, we're used to that. We know what that's like.
Here's here's a positive I want before we end this for all our fellow Jets fans out there. The young ones who have known suffering, the 40, 50-year-old guys who have seen plenty of suffering, and us who have seen a mega amount with spotty good things. Um, at least with the thing with Fields, we know at least what we could take a little good feeling is that next year looks like we got some really good quarterbacks coming out. So
Yeah.
if he shits the bed, I hope he doesn't because he's young. And what's not there's nothing better than having a 26-year-old quarterback,
Hey, man, you're right. Look,
Bob
he's the
done,
same year as Zach Wilson.
right? And knowing that
Anything is better than that. And we got now hopefully the right guy from that year. Let's see. Let's see what happens. It's
he,
just
what the coaches do. But we're back, baby, Jet 55. And our next podcast, what we're going to be doing, we're going to do it. We're going to go through each game. We'll give you the wins and losses. Remember last year, everybody had the Jets because it was a pretty doable schedule. Everybody had the Jets
13 wins. Yeah.
8-1. It was hilarious. 8-1, but it was like piece of cake. Like it was going to be 8-1, a cakewalk, and really just Zerline being horrible. And if you told me Denver was going to score at MetLife, that Denver was going to score 10 points,
And
what are the
lose.
odds of us winning? I would have bet my house. I would have bet my daughter's house, my son's house.
Well,
We'd all be living in condos, you know.
and the Lions game in London, right? Last year. Was it
Uh,
Lions? Yeah, right.
Minnesota, Minnesota.
Minnesota. I'm sorry, right. When he threw that fucking pick that the guy ran back, that's when it all ended right there.
Uh,
Because if they win that game, if that doesn't happen, they win the game. That pick, I think, really, you know, set the tone for the rest of the year. If they get through that game and they win it, he can't fire Solid. I think they get on a roll. I don't know what happens, but
well,
that
again,
that scary negative failure thing
yeah.
that we're always ready for. I don't feel it yet, but it's an old friend. It'll be back. Sorry to say. But I'm not going to be
Well,
negative. What do we have to be negative for? There's nothing to lose. So,
listen, there's 0 wins, 0 losses. Jet 55 is back. We're
the
excited.
one last thing I want to say, what
Oh,
will
yes.
be fun, and we'll talk about it more. You got Vrabel now, who is trying to get his little Patriots Jets thing going again. Let's beat the shit out of him this time around instead of the Patriots beating the Jets. That'll be fun. You know, who's
That would be
he?
nice.
He didn't win anything with the Titans. Who is he? Let's
They got
go.
it. They got a young quarterback who could be a good one. So you know what? But
Go
let's
blast him.
if they want to being a good team, a decent team, why can't we be better than good? It's got to be can that ever happen? We had some good teams when the Pats had Brady, and we won some games, but we lost some games because of his greatness. You
It's like the
know, so
Knicks. The Knicks when Jordan was there. It's like you're a good team, but you can't get over the hump. And then they fell off the planet, like the Jets, same thing. But now
right.
it's a new era, it's a new moment. Let's seize it. I don't know. I'm feeling good. Let's rock and roll, baby. Let's do
I
it.
just hurt, I just hurt myself. All right, Jets 55. We're
All right.
back.
We'll
This
see
is
you
it.
soon. We won't take long this time.
It won't take long, and we're gonna go through wins and losses. And here we go.
All right.